We're kicking off 2026 the right way. Zero hype, zero fear mongering, and no market crash clickbait. Just real talk, strategy, and clarity.
Because let's be honest, everyone online either thinks the market is about to fall into the ocean or that we're about to hit another insane boom. Spoiler alert, neither one is a reality.
People are confused, overwhelmed, frustrated, hopeful, all at the same time. And today we're going to calm the noise.
And hey, worst case, you'll have at least you'll at least leave smarter than every Facebook keyboard economist in your news feed.
All right, here
that
we
was
go.
A mouthful.
Well, guys, I usually say, so grab your coffee or something stronger, but maybe we just need to switch it up for Dane this morning. But yes, grab your coffee or something stronger and let's unrake it.
Let's do it.
All right.
What a rough start. I'm sorry,
Woo.
guys. The holidays must have kicked my butt.
Holidays kicked your butt.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, hopefully everybody had a great holiday. We had a great New Year's. This is the second episode of the new year. So ready to go, have some fun. And there's lots of great content to talk about. There's lots of great things happening. There's a lot of reset happening, but we're going to dive into that. But before we do, the old tradition comes into fact. Dane, let's do the dad jokes.
All right, here we go. You know, I asked my wife if I was the only one she's ever been with. You know what?
What?
She said yes. All the others were 9 and 10s.
Oh, my. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
So I've been talking to everybody about eating dried grapes. It's all about raising awareness.
All about raising awareness. Oh, my.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. All right. Well, our first subject we're going to talk about today is the housing reality check for 2026. This isn't a crash, it's a reshuffle. Now, we did talk about this a couple episodes ago, but I want to redefine this a little bit. So I want to make it crystal clear that 2026 is not a housing crash. It's not a fireworks boom. It's a reshuffle. The market is reorganization. We are having trouble today.
Yeah, today's one of them days, isn't it?
Yeah, the market is reorganizing, and in a reshuffle, the people who understand the rules are going to win. All right. So buyers aren't reckless anymore. They're not panic buying. They're calculating. They're focused on stability. You guys would probably say, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. People are on the fence, and they just need that little push or that little confidence of either knowledge or the trends of where the market's going to go to make these people decide they want to jump back into the market and buy a house or sell.
Right. I mean, the reshuffle is it's not, like it means the cards didn't disappear. They're being reshuffled. There's a different rule to come out with.
Yeah.
Buyers, sellers, investors all adjusted to a new set of rules driven by higher rates, affordability constraints, and returning to fundamentals. So they're asking the real question again: insurance, taxes, long-term costs, resale strategy.
Yeah. I mean, the really nice thing is that buyers and sellers are asking questions again. The last few years, they haven't even had to worry about that. They've just been kind of impulse buying a little bit.
Right.
And they say, oh, I need to put an offer in. There's going to be multiple offers. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. You don't have that anymore. Now it's just kind of smooth, calm, and collective. People are getting more knowledge. We talked about the power of AI last week and talking about how there's a plethora of knowledge right there in front of the buyers and sellers, that they get all this knowledge, but they don't know what to do with it. Some of them think they do. I think it's enough to make them dangerous.
Right.
Really
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
But they're asking questions again about insurance, taxes, long-term cost, resale strategy. And, honestly, is that a good thing? Or that a thoughtful buyer is making healthier, is making the market healthier? What do you think?
Well, honestly, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Thoughtful buyers make healthier markets. This isn't impulsive, grab anything with a roof. This is intentional life planning. They have a strategy. They have a goal. They know what they want to do. And it's our job to help them get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I think the sellers are waking up too. and before I really talk about that is, the translation basically of all this stuff that we're really doing, because it is a good thing, is people are no longer speed dating houses. They're actually in a committed relationship with them now.
Oh yeah. The buyers are no longer panicked. They're strategic now.
Yeah.
And that makes a big deal.
Absolutely. So, with the sellers waking up, let's talk to the sellers. Let's just kind of hone in on the sellers for a minute. Some of you are still drunk on 22 pricing, and 2026 is the hangover.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, reality is homes will sell, just not from ego, wishful thinking, or my neighbor 2 years ago got this, so I should too. They got to readjust to the market adjustment. It's not post-COVID times. And I know we beat this horse, 1,000 times, but it is reality. I was looking, as a matter of fact, yesterday, helping a client looking for a home, moving from South Florida to North Florida. And the houses we were looking at were on the market over 100 days.
Yeah.
And they're priced super high. You didn't see any price reduction or anything like that at all. So, and they've been sitting.
That's true. Anybody go ahead, Dawn.
So the smart sellers, they're being strategic. They're working with great realtors that know how to price and get their homes sold. The realtors that are in the business of selling homes, not listing homes, they price correctly, they prepare, they negotiate, and they win.
Right. The stubborn ones are basically camping on Zillow and praying for miracles.
Yep.
Now, who watched football this weekend? Anybody watch football this weekend?
I did.
And you gotta love the commercials. I always look forward to Super Bowl.
Right.
Last year was just an absolute bust. But did you guys happen to see the Cottonelle toilet paper commercial?
Oh, do tell.
There's always a point in this show where things go sideways.
Oh, here we go.
And then we're attacking this early.
Why not?
So the toilet paper commercial, okay. So you got people sitting on the throne, okay, and it just shows them just life from like here up, and then all of a sudden their eyes get wide and they're like, "I need to come clean."
Oh no.
Well, it's after they use the toilet paper and stuff like that. It's promoting that Continental, really gets you clean. But they're like, "I need to come clean." They come rushing out of the bathroom and then they start just blasting absolute truth to everybody. And this one guy comes out of the bathroom while he's, with his friends talking about all this stuff. And his one friend looked up at him and goes, "Do you like my nachos?" I love your nachos.
That's why he was in the bathroom. Oh, but Lord, here we go.
The reason why I'm bringing this up, and you guys know me and my crazy mindset, is the idea that this market is using a whole bag of Continental, a whole bundle of it. They went to Sam's Club and got the bulk version. and people are starting to come clean. People are really resetting their thought process on buying and selling a house. And they're speaking the truth of what they want. Is the sellers really understanding that at the moment? No, not really, but they'll get it figured out.
Well,
and it's starting to.
Yeah, the market takes a little while to transition, and they'll have to if they want to stay competitive in it and sell that home.
Yeah, I mean that gets into the inventory truth a little bit too. That if the inventory is not exploding, it's repositioning. People are moving for real reasons again. Life changes, opportunity, lifestyle, not panic. So that impulse buy is just gone. We talked about the shadow inventory and the ninja buyers and stuff like that a couple episodes ago. And that's what this is leaning toward. I mean, we're ahead of the game a little bit, trying to get this information out to all you folks.
Right. And that's something more powerful, more options without chaos.
Yeah. And that means something powerful and more options without chaos is coming. And that's great.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see a market crash. You're just not. You're going to see a restabilization. I will tell you, it's probably 3/4 of the way completed. And even right now, after the holiday, I'm the busiest I've been in a while. Is people are calling and wanting to go see homes again and asking the right questions. And I love it. I love the fact that I go to all my appointments, showings, listings, or buying appointments, and I have all this research that I've done, the minute before or, the day before. And most of the time last year and the year before, I really wasn't using any of that information because nobody was asking me questions.
Right.
And it's hard for me to go, hey, Mr. Customer, did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? And they're like looking at me going, dude, you just shut up. I just want to see the living room. But now these customers are actually asking the questions, and it's good because I got the answer for them.
Right.
I've always had the answer because I've always took the time and did the research. Dawn, I know you do that quite a bit. You're really extensive when it comes to that. Dane, you're the same way. We all do our due diligence, before we even see the property. That way, when we get there, we're being proactive for our customer because we're here to help service them. We're an extension to make the experience better. And that says a lot about what real estate agent that you use during your process of buying and selling a home. So let's talk about the reality. We talked about the overall capacity of what the market's doing right now, but let's really deep dive to, not so much deep dive, but turn in the microscope a little bit on Northeast Florida. The reality in Northeast Florida is it's still a magnet. The quality of life, the growth, the opportunity, people want to live here, period. We're seeing a lot. I think I've seen more people move from Southern Florida to Northeast Florida.
Right. As I've stated earlier, I'm working with a client now moving from South Florida up here. So
there's so much opportunity up here. And, I'm not going to bring up football, but I guess, if the Jaguars win the Super Bowl, we're going to be in some great shape,
That'll be shocking.
But there's a lot of growth that's happening, and watch the city of Jacksonville. We're already demographically, on a map. We're already the largest city in the United States.
Right.
And people don't really talk about that.
Right.
And if you want to come to a city that has city life, farm life, beach life, community, if you like HOAs and you like the established community, not so much cookie cutter, because there's a lot of different communities and neighborhoods surrounding the city.
Right.
That you can have to take your pick. You want a Spanish style looking house with the tile roof and everything else. Well, I got one for you right off Beach Boulevard, Tamaya.
Right.
They've got that there, and that's just one of many. And then if you want to be 20 minutes out of the city and you want a little bit of more of a family oriented area, Fleming Island, St. Johns, you got Silverleaf, Rivertown. You've got all this stuff that's still within a very, very close knit area to where everybody's working in the city, because COVID, everybody got pushed to their houses to work from home.
Right.
Now everybody's going back out and having to go to work, no matter how much people don't like doing that. Trust me, they love that idea about being at home, but you can still commute to work and it's all right. The roads are improving here. We got the new 23 highway almost completed. They're almost done with. They're not almost done with the bridge.
They got a few more years on the bridge.
They got a few more years on the bridge, but when that happens, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's going to open up quite a bit, and getting from one side of town to the other, especially if you're on the south side of town or southwest side of town, that's going to improve your drive time 20-30 minutes easily.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to all the changes that's going to happen, and watch what the city's going to do. The downtown nightlife, the downtown living, and all that stuff, it's going to change tremendously.
Yeah,
I think they've got several different plans in the works for the next 10 years. You're not even going to recognize Jacksonville in that time frame.
I agree. I think the growth is going to be phenomenal out here.
So if you're thinking about moving to Florida, think about Northeast Florida. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, before we jump into the year of the power buyer, guess what time it is?
Oh, no.
It's game time.
Here we go.
All right. Dawn, this is your first time getting to experience this.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right. So
That's good.
one of the things that we did at the end of the year is we introduced a game. I'm your host, and I'm going to read off several different things. So I'll read off a couple different scenarios, and you got to tell me, which is what. So just blurt it out. But today is called the Real Estate or Ridiculous.
Okay.
All right. This is where you decide if this is actually happening or humanity has completely lost its mind. All right. So each scenario has an official answer. Okay. So you got to decide whether it's going to be real estate or ridiculous.
Okay.
All right. Scenario number 1 in 2026, listings will say 3-bedroom, 2-bath, emotionally damaged, but still a good home if you communicate with it.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous and a violation.
Leave it to our law girl. Well, actually, the answer on that is real estate. You
Oh,
want to know
Lord.
why? Because half of today's homes haven't been updated since the Blockbuster was alive, and they're tired.
Fair enough. All right, now we know how you're reading this. All
This
right,
house,
I get it.
This house doesn't need repairs. It needs reassurance and maybe a vacation. All right. Okay.
All right.
You guys getting what I'm putting down
Yeah,
now?
I got it now.
I'm getting twistier with this stuff.
Yeah, you are.
The mad scientist. Okay, ready? Scenario number 2. AI writes MLS descriptions so good that the sellers say, "This sounds better than my actual house. Can we just sell the description?"
I believe that's probably real estate lately.
By real
AI.
estate.
AI has been.
You guys are on the same page I'm on down. The answer is real estate because AI can romanticize anything. Charming vintage interior. Hasn't been updated since Nixon. You're not buying a house. You're buying a beautiful written lie.
Yeah, sounds right.
All right. Next one. Open houses soon will include cookies, water, loan officer, therapist, emotional support dog.
Ridiculous.
It's
Even that-
necessary,
that
though.
Well, I will be honest. That's what the agent there is all that, right?
Yeah, kinda
So
there
it may be
anyway.
real estate.
You're right. It is real estate because interest rates traumatized everyone. Welcome. The kitchen is on your left and the counseling session is on your right.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
Okay, next scenario. A buyer submits an offer like 10K under asking, but we brought a really cute baby.
I don't know. That could be real estate too. I've seen a few things. So who knows?
Right.
What do you think, Don?
Real estate.
Yes. The answer is real estate. Emotional bribery is alive and well. All right. Forget earnest money. Show me a puppy and we'll talk.
Yeah, that's right. I believe it.
Okay. Scenario number 5. Seller wants top dollar, no repairs, cash buyer, 3-day close, and live there free for 6 months.
It's real estate, but it's certainly ridiculous.
I agreed.
I'm sorry I'm laughing because you hit the nail on the head there, Don. Yes, the answer actually is real estate because sellers don't want to sell their house. They want to win at selling.
Correct.
Yeah.
They do. So you're selling, but also not really. Sorry.
I'll go with that.
All right. Scenario number 6. You ready? AI becomes so advanced it says, "I analyzed your finances. Stay renting."
There ain't no telling with AI. I don't
Say it again.
AI becomes so advanced it says, "I analyzed your finances. Stay renting."
know. I think that's ridiculous.
It's probably real estate, though.
Dane, she's ahead of you now.
I know.
Yep. The answer is real estate
Yeah.
because AI finally becomes your financially responsible parent.
Makes sense. I
Even-
believe it.
Even when AI thinks you're broke, that hurts different, you know? It does.
Because they sometimes know things you don't know.
That is a fact.
That's exactly right. Okay, number 7. Zillow ads expectations versus reality pricing automatically subtracts $75,000 for delusion.
I will go ridiculous.
I think it's real estate.
Wow. Okay, tie ball game. The answer is actually ridiculous. Zillow will never risk hurting feelings. They like chaos.
There you go.
Zillow's business model is delusional. They're not fixing that. Okay.
Oh, there you have it.
All right. Next scenario. Buyer wants perfect school, perfect neighborhood, perfect taxes, perfect neighbors, perfect sunsets, perfect everything.
That's real estate. I believe that.
It is real estate every day.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
The answer is real estate because Pinterest and Instagram ruin reasonable expectations.
Yep.
They're not
And-
buying a house. They're shopping for heaven.
Yeah, and watching all like HGTV and all that stuff
Yep.
too.
Oh my gosh. We could sit here for 2 hours and talk about that. Really could. All right, next scenario. Home inspectors add trauma assessment. Neglected, emotionally unstable, cries at night.
Ridiculous.
I could see one of my
I can see it.
inspectors
Yeah, I
doing
mean,
it. I know one of my
But they ain't gonna
inspectors
put
in
that in.
particular. I can see them doing it.
Yeah. Well, it is ridiculous, but it feels real.
yeah,
All right. Because home inspections are already dramatic enough. So, like, for example, sir, your roof isn't failing. It just has attachment issues.
wow.
All right. Finally, AI creates the perfect buyer. Doesn't lowball, reads documents, closes on time, thanks their realtor.
That's ridiculous.
It's not reality, but it is real estate.
That's true. It's just flat out fiction. All right. This belongs in sci-fi. That whole scenario does. They only exist in the metaverse and maybe heaven.
There you go.
All right. So, well, that wraps up our game. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was a little bit different.
Yeah, I took the first one to figure out how you're wording it and how we need to go. But I got it.
You got it. All right. Well, let's jump into the final topic for the day. The year of the power buyer.
Let's
Boom,
do
boom,
it.
boom, boom. So let's get something straight. 2026 will not be won by the richest buyer. It'll be won by the most prepared buyer. Case in point, why we're doing this podcast.
That's right. You know, pre-approval is the floor now. Fully underwritten is the standard.
They understand the numbers. They need to understand the numbers. It's not a fantasy. It's not rumors. It's all reality. Listen to your lenders and listen to your realtor.
Yep. They don't hope they plan. I am having all sorts of issues. I should have stayed home today.
No, you're good.
No, they don't hope they plan. So yeah, the buyer is very strategic now and planning for their next step for sure.
Well, yeah, strategy does beat price. And, you know, talking about that in terms of the matter of flexibility matters, communication matters, a structured offer beats a desperate high number. Well, I'll tell you right now, we won't see a desperate high number anymore. I mean, we might eventually. I think where you're seeing that right now is your price points of 100 to 250.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get multiple offer situation.
Right.
And, you know, I hope Bridget's paying attention that we're going to use the A word, affordability. Yes. And that's what's driving that right now.
Yeah, for real.
I did you guys see the news last week about how the administration is talking about really making housing affordability a top thing this year?
I heard about it, but I didn't go in depth with it.
I really didn't either, because at the end of the day, it's the ones that dictate the market is the ones that are in the market, the ones that are needing to use the market, buyers and sellers.
Right.
They're the ones that truly dictate the market. If you take all the fluff and you push it back, and if you come clean,
oh, here we go.
then what you're seeing is the buyer's only going to pay for what the home's worth, and the seller needs to either allow that to happen, understand there's concessions. And to give you a good example of this, I had a really good conversation with one of my clients, and I said, listen, 3 or 4 years ago, you bought at a high price. Now we're in 2026 and the house isn't worth as much as what you paid for it.
Right.
So what we need to do is understand that there may be a small reduction in what we're going to be offering to list your home. However, when people are buying low, they're also selling low too. So there's a good chance that we could probably make up the difference on when you buy the other house. And I go, when you look at it wash to wash and everything, it's going to be fine. And you still may come out ahead.
Right.
You're just not going to come out ahead on selling and ahead on buying. There's going to be a give and take there. And we're going to help you figure out a way to keep that in the green all the way around.
Right.
And that's the most important thing.
Right.
You know, so coming clean, the buyers and sellers understand that they're the ones that dictate the market. They're the ones that are going to be doing stuff. You know, communication is going to matter for these people. Flexibility is going to matter. A structure offer, again, you know, like we had talked about, beats a desperate high number.
Right.
So we mentioned about AI last week. We mentioned about all this stuff, all this information that all these buyers and sellers get all the time. They need a translator.
They really do.
Well, who's the translator?
We are.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yep.
We're the translators. So guess what? We're not a middleman. I read a comment on one of our posts that about a couple of weeks ago that realtors are middlemen. They just need to be cut out, this and that. Fantastic. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Commenter, because I love good or bad comments. Does Zillow selling your house? Have they sold your house? They tell you how much it's worth or giving an estimate, but are they actually selling your house?
Right.
No, they're not. When's the last time that they sold your house or helped you buy one? Think about that for a minute.
Right.
And then we talked about the different contracts. Heck, we just got an update this morning on all the updated contracts for 2026. It changed. The days of the part-time real estate agents over with. If you're not in the know constantly daily, you're going to be behind the 8 ball and you're going to put your customers at risk. And you may end up putting your customer in a situation that you can't get out of it. You can't get them out of it because you weren't paying attention. You weren't knowledgeable. You weren't saying, this is a full-time job. This is a career. This is a life choice. We service our customers and we have to know this information just like attorneys. I know.
Right. We got to stay on top of the game
Every day, education, every day. So you buyers and sellers that are getting all this information from us and the rest of the other platforms, wherever you're getting your information from, that, we're the ones that translate it. We're the ones that stay on top of it. We're the ones that know the language. We know what's going to happen. So if you want to make sure that you want to be proactive about what's going on and do that, because I know that's why you're getting the knowledge.
Right.
Because you want to know. All right. Education equals power. The power buyers asking questions, seeking clarity, understanding timing, understanding the life impact. And we're going to help you translate that into simplicity, like the Cottonelle commercial that I talked about earlier.
Right. The power does not mean being unreasonable. Right. Well-priced homes in good condition still sell quickly, and overconfidence can cost opportunities. So the strongest buyers use leverage wisely and act decisively when value aligns.
Yeah, sure does. And they don't chase drama. They're chasing stability.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about the Florida power buyer. Oh, I like that. Florida is awesome.
Yep.
In Florida, clarity about insurance, taxes, lifestyle, neighborhoods, that's power.
A power buyer isn't trying to impress anybody. They're trying to build the right life.
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. I think, and again, the technology age has changed everything for many industries. It's changed how you buy cars, how you buy groceries. Heck, my wife goes online on her phone. She sits there and watches her TV while she's binge watching stuff, which heck, that's technology's even changed that. How we watch TV. God, I miss the TV guide and
right.
the brown and yellow couches and the ashtray.
I don't know if I miss
table.
all that too much, but
there was a regiment. You had to have patience. There's no patience left in the world anymore because we don't have to be. It's at our fingertips. Yep. It's just what we want. And that's changed everything. Technology has changed so much. And it's even changed how you buy and sell a home. We just got to stay on top of it. We're staying on top of it. And as a matter of fact, I've embraced it. As a matter of fact, when I first started doing this podcast, I remember Brooke and Brittany.
Right.
They got on me for not using my iPad. Well, here you go, ladies.
Tune in.
I've embraced technology.
There you go.
But there's a very valid point to make with all this is we have to step up our game. We have to make sure that we're involved with it. I mean, even the tools and resources that we use, most of that is through online because we need to get that information right now. Why? Because technology changed patience. Nobody has patience no more.
That's right.
Right.
And, even when we write offers, we've got to foresee that, so I think out of all the hats that we wear all the time, being real estate agents and doing the job, I mean, there's a time that we got to be fortune tellers. There's times that we got to be therapists.
Right.
There's times that we got to be parents. There's times that we got to, do the hard truth. There's so many different things that we do throughout a 30-day period. If it is a normal contract, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And being a listing agent now isn't just list and wait, list and sit, list and they're all going to come to me. It's not the magic bait on a hook.
Right.
You have to prep. you have to stage, you have to get all your advertising set up right. Because if you don't do that within the first 7 days, it is going to sit right now.
Right.
And you got to price it right. You got to have a real clean line strategy of what you want to do. You've got to communicate that with the seller, and they have to be okay with it. They have to agree with that. And if they don't, at the end of the day, we're here to give a service to really just, give them an idea what they want. At the end of the day, they're still going to want to do what they want to do. So we just have to decide, okay, great. Giving you a clear expectation. If you do this, this is what can happen. And if it doesn't happen the way you want it to, I've got 4 other plans that we can do to make that happen. So you tell me which one you want to do.
Right.
I love giving people choices. I
Absolutely.
do, because that lets them take ownership of what's going on, knowing that we're going to run into this. Because if they choose option number C, okay, great. So when that happens, the buyer's going to give us an offer. This is what's going to happen more than likely. We need to be prepared for this, and this. That's what we talk about at the listing presentation, or where we're getting into some more further details as, we're getting photos and getting the listing ready to go on the market. So lots of great stuff. And if you think we do that for, the people that list with us, imagine what we do for the buyers. Because it's almost like being a listing agent on 16 energy drinks. Because we got to do that faster. We got to have scenarios. We got to know what the seller's going to be doing, what the seller's agent's idea was about listing this house and where they're at. And then we got to have a good relationship with the listing agent.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, our jobs is simply this. And I like to keep things so simple. It's simply this. We have to help our buyers and sellers make the sale.
Yep.
People forget about that. So our job is the buffer. All right, Mr. Listing Agent, this is what my buyer would like to do. Guess what? They would love to buy the house at this or this. And sometimes you hear no, or no, we're not going to do this. This is what we're going to do. Okay, well, why?
Right.
How many times have you had a buying agent, when you listed, ask you why? They usually say, well, here's my counter. You're like, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you go back to the buyers and go, okay, they didn't accept our offer. They're only going to accept this. You know what I told my real estate agent before I got in this business when I bought a house? Well, what'd you say to fight that?
Do they give you a good answer?
No.
Well,
it's just not what we're doing right now. Either you're going to do this or you're going to do this. You put on your boxing gloves. Go at it.
Yeah, we're representing our client.
Don't beat up the seller because don't need to do that. But what you can do is you can have a conversation and negotiate. That's an important word. Negotiate with the listing agent.
Exactly. I want to touch on that. I don't want to go too far into it because that's a whole podcast on its own.
I agree.
But all of us transaction realtors here in the Jacksonville area need to remember we're all on the same team. Our job is to work for the transaction. You're supposed to protect and represent your buyer and seller, but we work for the transaction. We're supposed to negotiate. We're supposed to be having conversations. We're supposed to represent our buyers and sellers' needs to the best of our ability to get the deal to the closing table. That is our job.
Yep. I love it. Couldn't have said it any better. That's great.
Yep.
So, well, I think that's a great way to end the episode. So here's the truth bomb, guys. All right. 2026 isn't scary. It isn't chaotic. It isn't hopeless. It's strategic.
If you want clarity, stop listening to panic headlines and social media comedians pretending to be economists.
If you want to build a plan, we'll build one. If you want confidence, we'll give you understanding. If you want strategy, that's what we do here. Just give us a call. We're ready to help.
And we promise we'll explain it like real humans. No corporate robot jargon. No BS.
Amen. If you're thinking about buying, let's talk strategy. If you're thinking about selling, let's talk truth. And if you're confused, let's give you clarity. Reach out to the Rakers Home Group and let's win 2026 together. Follow us on YouTube, guys. I am behind the 8 ball on this, but I'm going to get it. Our videos are usually live on this podcast, on YouTube, We do a lot of Facebook posting. We do a lot of knowledge stuff that we pass along between myself and the team. We share that on all platforms. Reach out to us, comment, like, subscribe, share. Let us know what you want on these podcasts, and we'll talk about an important film, idea, topic, whatever. We can deep dive whatever you want.
Right.
Just let us know.
Yep.
But until next week, guys, we'll see you then.